In order to maintain yourself as the top seller list on Fiverr, getting a 5-star rating for your profile is essential. You'll get more features from Fiverr when you receive the status of top-rated seller. By this, the chances of getting your gigs featured by Fiverr will become higher as well. This is why you need to be dedicated to your job and do your best in keeping your customers satisfied. Getting a 3-star rating will not be adequate. Get yourself at least a 4-star rating from each buyer you serve. As a seller, you would not want to miss out on this module on how to get and maintain 5-star ratings in Fiverr. Without further ado, let's get into it. As a seller on Fiverr, it is always great to have 5 stars or 100% ratings on your account. Not only does this help you get more sales, it also makes you an authority in your niche. If being a top-rated seller is your goal, it is also important to achieve your full 5-star rating. If you want a 100% positive rating on your account, you will of course need to give 100% of effort in doing your job. That's what every buyer wants, right? If I put you in the same situation, you would want your sellers to do their best too. The definition of a good quality job may vary from time to time because it depends on your customer's expectations. However, it is a must for you to reach your customer's expectations or even exceed it. Who doesn't want a better job done? A basic but important thing to remember is that you need to follow up on the order. It is important so that you can avoid delivering inadequate work. For example, if you're writing content, proofread your grammar and spelling to avoid mistakes. If you're designing a graphic or a logo, avoid putting the wrong color or sketch, which is different from what your buyer wants. Up next is to be punctual when delivering your job. Do not delay. Be determined when completing your responsibilities. Your buyer is paying you for your product, and you are not doing this for free or for charity. In regards to responsibilities, you wouldn't want the same thing to happen to you if you're the buyer. If you're having some problems in your process, reach out to the buyer and politely explain to them that their order would be delivered late. Customers are usually understanding if you provide clear and polite explanations. Sometimes your buyer might want to know more about what you can provide before they get in touch with you. Thus, adding details to your description will make it easier for them to understand, so that they will have a rough idea on what you're capable of before making their decision. Check this example of a description out. If you want a simple yet elegant logo, you can apply here. You'll get the following services each for $5. Important: discuss the font before placing an order. High quality design from a low quality logo. Vector designing. Redesigning basic logos from a previously designed logo. Extra charges on complex designs discussed before placing an order. Editing a logo. Adding or changing text. I do not draw or redraw human faces. If you have any issues or complaints, please do not leave a bad review. Instead, kindly message me so we can work things out. This also prevents misunderstandings between you and your buyer. If a misunderstanding occurs, you must always ask them to refer back to your description as solid proof instead of you debating with your buyer to defend yourself. Misunderstandings may create bad feelings and cause a higher possibility to lower down your rating. One word of advice: be responsible when doing your job. Do not treat this as freelance work. When you have the mentality that $5 jobs are not worth investing time and effort, you will not be able to deliver good quality work. Always think of this as an opportunity to improve your work. If you manage to keep this up, you can keep them as your long-term customers. People will always come back to you for your service if they have had good experiences dealing with you. Do not deliver the work if you're not satisfied with it. This is the key to delivering good quality work. Set your standards slightly higher so that if you are satisfied with the end result of your work, your client is going to love it even more. Another thing is not to go offline for a long period of time without checking your orders. If you're going to be away for some time, for example, going on vacation or attending a wedding, put your gig on vacation mode. But be sure to complete any job at hand or explain to the buyers that you would not be able to complete the job during that period. 5-star ratings will not only make your profile look good and give you the traffic you want, but also separate you from the average seller. After being separated from the average seller, buyers will have a clearer picture on who you are. You must aim to stand out amongst all other sellers in order to make more money. Buyers will be more willing to pay more if you're a 5-star rating seller. Believe me, 5-star ratings are much more trustworthy. There are a few methods to maintain 5-star ratings. If you know the game well enough, you'll understand the points that I'm going to say. Do whatever which is requested of you from the buyer, even if that means spending a few more hours on it. Run your Fiverr gig like you would run a business. Be courteous, and remember that the customer is always your biggest priority. Don't be afraid to over-deliver. Over-delivering doesn't mean that you're doing charity. It is a marketing technique that would make your buyer happy. Let's assume you promised 200 words but delivered 280 words instead. Who wouldn't be happy about a free bonus, right? You must understand that building up a relationship with your buyer is the only long-term solution to get them to come back to your service. The only way to build up a relationship with your potential customer is through the conversation with them. Thus, get to know your buyer well, and you can even refer to them by their first name. In fact, always name them first before you move on to your content. Even though it may seem insignificant, attitude makes a huge impact towards your job and yourself.